Tricia Ray here with another Blender tutorial. Today it's the introduction to the Properties panel, manipulation of the mesh. We're going to take a brief look at the axis right now in Blender's 3D space. The x-axis is red, the y-axis is green, and the z-axis is blue. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to open the Properties panel by pressing N so we can check on the direction a little bit easier, and so you can have a good view of how we do manipulate things inside Blender's 3D space. I want you to look at the numbers in the Properties panel under Location, and as I'm moving the ball up and down, blue, the z-axis, you can take a look and watch the numbers go from positive to negative. What I'm also doing now is I'm locking out, all right, X and Y, which means I can't go any other way. And this comes in handy sometimes in case you don't want to move in a certain direction. You can actually lock out certain axes. Now I'm going to go for the red, which is, all right, my X. And the same thing holds true with this. If I want to lock out the other axes and only move in the X direction, I can do that. Again, notice how the numbers go from positive to negative. And now we're going to go the Y direction. There you go. Let's start our tutorial. So let's get started. Open up your Blender's program, and we're going to be using the cube that you see in your viewport. If the cube is not selected, select it by pressing A. Next, we're going to find your Properties panel. And to do that, you're going to hit N on your keyboard. That will bring up the Mesh's Properties panel. Go to the scroll bar in the Properties panel and go all the way to the top. Really nice. You're doing really good. We need to eliminate a face right now, so follow the instructions on the video. You want to go to Edit Mode, Face Mode, select a face, hit Delete on the keyboard, and Faces in the pop-up menu. So if you notice how the Properties panel changes when you go from Object Mode to Edit Mode. When you're in Object Mode, you see that we have these little locks to the right. The next step, we are going to duplicate this cube and move it along the y-axis, which is the green arrow. To do that, we want to get rid of the blue and red arrows, which means we want to lock X and Z. So go up there and click the locks on X and Z under Location. Select in Object Mode your box, press Shift D, and make sure when you move the box, the duplicate is kind of far away from the original. All right, now what I want to do now is make sure that those empty areas where we deleted the faces are facing one another. So we have to rotate the newly created box. We're going to do that by rotating on the Z-axis, which is the blue axis. So we're going to go up again to transform, and we're going to lock, all right, X and Y axis. So we can only rotate Z. So click the little arrow like you see me doing there. As you click the arrow, I want you to notice the numbers, they're kind of changing. Okay, now also to make it move faster, you can also enter numbers in this access box. So enter 180, 180. The next section, what we're going to do is go to the outliner, and I want you to rename your cube to box 1 and the second cube to box 2. I do this just so you guys can get in the habit of labeling the objects in your scene in the outliner.
Well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me into.
this next part, we have to make these two boxes one mesh. Now this is where we're going to make it one mesh. Alright. So we have to enter the object mode and then select both boxes. Enter object mode, select one box, shift, and select the next one. Go to the Tools panel and click Join. We've got that space there, so what we need to do is seal that space by creating faces. So follow the instructions by going into Edge mode. Click on first edge, hold the shift down, click down the second edge, and press F to create a face. Do this all around the box. Edge, shift, edge, press F. Yeah, see, you're learning a lot of stuff here. It's kind of a dry and boring tutorial. It really is. I mean, it's not like we're making anything fun there or anything. It is kind of boring. But it's kind of necessary. I want you to go over to the outliner and notice now, hey, we only have one box left. For watching, please subscribe. New tutorials are added every week. And remember, stay strong, stay awesome.